All right, let's jump right in and break down the critical compliance trends that are going to define 2025. We're talking about the new rules of business, the stuff every leader really needs to get their head around to stay ahead of the curve.
You know, this quote, it just nails it, right? The old way of thinking about compliance, with some dusty back office chore, that's completely over. Today, it's a conversation for the boardroom, it's what builds trust, and honestly, it's a huge competitive advantage.
Okay, so the game has changed. The big question is, what are the new rules? Well, it really boils down to 5 key fronts where these rules are being written as we speak. And getting a handle on this new landscape means you gotta master all of them, because dropping the ball on even one can have some pretty serious consequences.
First on our list, data privacy. And let me tell you, it's becoming a real maze out there. A massive headache for any business trying to work across different states or countries.
Get this. In the US, there's no single federal privacy law. So what's happened? Over 40% of states have just gone and made their own. It's created this challenging patchwork quilt of regulations that any company operating nationwide has to figure out.
And if you think this is slowing down, think again. It's actually speeding up. In 2025 alone, we're going to see 8 more new state laws go into effect. That's just adding more and more layers of complexity.
And the stakes? They're global, and they are sky high. Just look at this number. Meta got hit with a record-breaking €1.2 billion fine under GDPR for unlawful data transfers. That's not a slap on the wrist, folks. That's a penalty that can fundamentally alter your business.
You know, that massive risk with data flows perfectly into our second point, cybersecurity. And here, the goalposts have seriously moved. It's not just about building walls anymore. It's about proving your organization can bounce back when, not if, an attack happens.
So, the old way of thinking? That's out. It's not enough to have a security plan just sitting in a binder gathering dust. Regulators, your partners, your customers, they all want proof that your plan actually works. It's a huge shift from just reacting to stuff to actively anticipating and preparing for it before it ever happens. And the cost of getting this wrong? It's absolutely staggering. Right now, the average data breach costs a company almost $5 million. I mean, that's a number that can absolutely cripple a business.
But here's what might really surprise you. For all the fancy tech we talk about, technology isn't even the weakest link. It's estimated that a whopping 95% of cybersecurity breaches involve some kind of human error.
So what does this tell us? It means building real resilience isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a whole strategy. It's about constantly checking for risks, non-stop training for your people, actually practicing what you'll do in a crisis, and making sure you can get back up and running fast. It's a cycle, not a checkbox.
All right, let's talk about trend number 3, because it's a big one that builds on all this. The race to regulate artificial intelligence is on, and 2025 is really looking like it's going to be a pivotal year for AI governance.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It shows you exactly how fast the world is scrambling to put rules in place for AI. You've got the EU's huge AI Act, dozens of bills in the US. The Wild West era of AI development is definitely coming to an end. So, what does this mean for your business? Well, it means you've got to take some really concrete steps. We're talking about proactively stamping out bias in things like hiring algorithms, being totally upfront with your customers about how you use AI, and making sure there's a real human in the loop for the important stuff. You have to build the ethics in from day one. Okay, number 4. Let's talk ESG. Environmental, social, and governance. This has gone from a corporate buzzword to a hardcore compliance issue, and it feels like it happened overnight. It's all about a new kind of accountability. And if you don't believe me, just look at the data. For compliance pros, ESG transparency is now the number 2 biggest headache they face. It's ranked right behind the classic problem of data breaches. So yeah, it's not a sideline issue anymore, it's front and center. And this isn't about making fuzzy promises on your website anymore. We're talking hard data. Regulators, investors, even your customers. They now expect audited, transparent reports on everything from your carbon footprint to the labor conditions deep in your supply chain.
You know, that S in ESG, the social part, brings us right to our 5th and final trend. This one brings compliance right into the office and puts a huge spotlight on ethics, fairness, and employee rights.
So what's happening is a wave of new laws are popping up, creating real, tangible duties for employers. We're talking about pay transparency laws that make you put salary ranges in job ads, mandatory anti-harassment training, and much stronger protection so that whistleblowers can speak up without fearing for their jobs.
And this isn't just about laws, right? It's reflecting a huge cultural shift.
It's not just about what you're legally forced to do. Almost 2/3 of companies are now planning to roll out ethics and code of conduct training because they know how vital it is for building a healthy, positive culture.
Okay, so we've walked through a lot, right? Privacy, cyber resilience, AI, ESG in the workplace. So what's the common thread here? What ties all of this together?
When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Being proactive isn't just about avoiding trouble or staying out of negative headlines, it's about something much bigger. It's about building a fundamentally stronger, more resilient, and more trusted business. The kind of company that customers are proud to support and the best people want to come work for. And that leaves one last question for you to think about as you prepare for the year ahead. You see, there's a huge difference between just checking the boxes for today's rules and truly being ready for tomorrow's challenges. So the real question is, which one are you?